we just find it a really cost-effective. It was really lightweight and easy. We got it set up in a matter of days, and really saved probably hundreds of pounds versus something like PandaDoc. When I think of how much we paid for a yearly license for pdfFiller versus the monthly costs for PandaDoc and some of the others, we saved a crazy amount of money, and I actually think what we got was better for us. Maybe not as powerful with all the other little pieces that come with that, but for our use case, brilliant. Or our company might be quite unique in how we use pdfFiller. I don't really know all the functions it does, but I just hone in on what we needed and what we do with it and why we love it. So when I started our Message Direct, we had a kind of a need to replace a legacy system which created brochures. We moved to a new CRM, Salesforce. And I don't know how much you know about Salesforce, but obviously it's pretty much an open platform. If you've got the money to develop it, you can do that.
Right.
But the stuff out of the box wasn't really great for us. So, for example, we thought we might be able to replace sending out a document, a proposal, quotation, that kind of thing, with the inbuilt module in Salesforce. But what we found was the documents that it created weren't branded. There wasn't the ability to brand them. They just didn't look very good. And it was quite clunky. So we then started looking at third-party software, stuff that would hook into Salesforce and be part of our ongoing processes. And that's where we stumbled across pdfFiller. So I looked at a lot in the market. It's sort of the classic ones like PandaDoc and DocSign and all these things. And I just, for what we found, it was absolutely perfect. So I like bespoke documents, stuff that's properly branded. I don't just like kind of the classic, build it from a template mode. Mm-hmm. So we found pdfFiller, found the integration with Zapier. So that connected the two, Salesforce.
Yeah.
We created a really quick custom object called Tariff, which is what we now use the basis of quotations. Fill in a few buttons, fits in our process, hit submit. We go into pdfFiller and the document's there via the magic of APIs and Zapier and all that. Mm-hmm. And we can go in and edit the PDF documents that we send out. So we've got 3 or 4 different templates that we send across, depending on the sales stage and whatever. And the team love it.
Cool.
It's super user friendly. It's almost like having an Adobe PDF piece of software for a fraction of the price. The girls can go in, edit fields, but most of the time they don't need to because it's come directly from the CRM, and that's right. So that's sort of our use case. It's maybe quite a strange one. We have looked at, and we may branch into the signing solution. So I know it comes connected with eSign Now, is that what it's called?
Sign Now, yeah.
Now, yeah. So we've looked at that as an integration. We've got that kind of proof of concept, so that'll work in our workflow. So yeah, we just find it a really cost effective. It was really lightweight and easy. We got it set up in a matter of days, and really saved probably hundreds of pounds versus something like PandaDoc. When I think of how much we paid for a yearly license for pdfFiller versus the monthly costs for PandaDoc and some of the others, we saved a crazy amount of money, and I actually think what we got was better for us. Maybe not as powerful with all the other little pieces that come with that, but for our use case, brilliant.
And how did you find it? Was it just a quick Google, or did you check out like G2 or reviews?
I think it was a combination of things. I think ultimately I stumbled across it on Zapier, actually. I was looking quite desperately after PandaDoc and other things for mail merge software within Zapier. So I can't remember the exact search, but within the website, you can sort of put down certain keywords. And I think I might have even put in PDF as a sort of, is there anything out there that's PDF related on the Zapier marketplace? And it was just like by pure coincidence, I got that. Then I did the research phase, looked at it and thought, this is too good to be true. Why is it only a couple $100 a year? And it just, it all aligned really well.
Tell me a little bit about your role and your organization.
Sure. So I'm the marketing director at a group of companies. We've just acquired a couple more. But basically, we're a UK telephone answering service. We do branch out into other communication channels like live chat, and Facebook Messenger, that type of thing. But our core business at the moment is handling telephone inquiries for UK businesses, mostly SMEs, but we do some enterprise work as well. So effective, if any company is missing calls or has a need to have them answered and details captured, then that's where we step in.
Got it.
We offer people to answer those phone lines.
When did you start looking for PDF or for a solution like pdfFiller? Was it pandemic?
Yeah, I started in February this year, so pretty soon after, I'd say sort of March, April time. It was like a long discovery process, sort of messing around with Panadoc and a couple of others, and then pdfFiller came in, found it by chance, and within 2 weeks, I was like, it's all up and running. It was perfect. We had it all set up. We probably sign up sometime in sort of April, May time. You probably could check.
Okay. How many people are using it at your org?
There are 4 users at the moment, including myself. But I mean, we could expand that out to other teams. It's just our sales team that use it at the moment.
Right.
That team's expanding, but we have admin and support teams that would do kind of contracts and the like. So 3 or 4 at the moment, but I could see application to expand that to the rest of the team, which would be about 10 plus. Were
there other challenges that you kept on experiencing that pdfFiller solved? Like, what were some of the other reasons that really made you decide to pull the trigger on software like this?
It was the main driver was, as you identified, the ability to use my own PDFs, my own branded stuff, and for it not to sort of insert its own design or not recognize certain parts, and also the ability for it to play nicely with Salesforce.
Got it.
The other options did that, but with the branding thing compromised, the cost was quite extreme. For the software alone, it wasn't too bad, talking a couple £100 subscription a month, but to add the Salesforce functionality, probably add another 50% on top of that.
So you're using it integrated with Zapier, and you're using the Salesforce integration as well?
Yep, and we also have designs or plans to use e-sign on
sign
top
now.
Of. So sign now. So it'll be like the flow will be create the document, then go in and check it, hit the send to e-sign, and then it flows back into Salesforce once the client has signed it. So that's all kind of in play, but we just have been a bit lazy or a bit preoccupied with other things to get that signed.
Could you walk me through like maybe an example of before pdfFiller, what your workflow with your PDFs looked like, and now what your current digital workflow looks like?
Yeah, so we had a legacy system. We still have that, but it was something that you could call it a CRM. It sort of fits in with our call center.
Yeah.
Effectively, the team would fill out details of the lead or the client into a system, into a database, and then it would create one brochure with the fields, whatever. It does what pdfFiller does now. The problem with that was it was legacy. So the script and the code was over 15 years old or 12 years old. It's going to be retired. And also there was no flexibility. So at the moment, I could create any PDF document and throw it into the system, into Zapier, and say, this is my base document, fill this in as the template and save it to this folder. This didn't do that. And also weirdly didn't give us the option to review the document beforehand. So it was like, if you didn't get it right when you were inputting the data into CRM, which salespeople don't always do, as I'm sure you're aware, you could be sending people the wrong quote, something looked a bit unprofessional, misspelt name, that kind of thing. Whereas this has that added safety net, if you like, of they just have to quickly scan their eyes on it. It doesn't take long, 30 seconds, check the fields, make sure it's all good before hitting send, save, attach to email.
Are there any other results that you're seeing besides just saving money? Are there any other sort of results that you've noticed?
So qualitative results from a client perspective, from a prospect perspective, we do get a lot of feedback that our documents look nice. We've had a couple of people saying, who did your documents? How do you do them? So I have actually put a couple of people onto pdfFiller. We're getting that kind of stuff looks great. And we also get good conversion rates, very good conversion rates from our documents. Hard to isolate and say that was just because the sales brochure we sent out. There's so many variables, but the feedback we get, and it does feel like we send out a brochure or we send out a divert document or whatever, and it all looks nice. It all aligns with our website and our branding, and we have that flexibility to change the document. You know, we can send out a document to someone in property or real estate that has a picture of someone in their industry, a testimonial with someone in their industry. And I found all that stuff was doable with the other software providers, and there were some sort of clever templatey things you could do. But again, it comes back to the branding thing. It didn't look like the document that I wanted. So yeah, right. I think overall it's difficult. It's a lot of variables, but client feedback, the qual stuff, and I think it's increased conversion rate versus the old tatty brochures we used to send out. Has
the pandemic changed the way you think about digitizing, digital transformation at all? Are there other things that you're going to digitize in the future?
Yeah, we've inherited one of our brands is a self-service for our industry. So you can go on to their website and you can set up an answering service for your business without speaking to a human, which is, I know doesn't sound very novel for most industries, but believe me, for this industry, it is way ahead. Mm-hmm. It's been there for years, and we always looked at it and thought, how does that do? Does that do well? Now we've bought the company, we understand, we can see the nuts and bolts of it. So yeah, definitely. I mean, there's probably something around how we collect information, whether that's in the portal or the documents that we send out for people to fill in. So we've got very, very basic documents that we send out for people to fill in their answering service details. So I could probably see an application where pdfFiller sends something that looks nicer, takes that information and pushes it directly into our call center application and into Salesforce. So I mean, it's basically the bridge with Zapier makes everything really possible.